Hey everyone, my name is Raiden Johnson. I am making this video to show you my first project in Kotlin. I'm here to show you some of the things that I've done and how I wrote my code and what my program does. Let's start in the README here real fast. Like I already said, this project is for Kotlin. My code is to make a note-taking app. Super basic program. It allows users to edit, view, and make notes, and then it stores it for the time being, and then you can do things while it's going. The whole purpose of this was to understand Kotlin a little bit better, understand the syntax, the classes, the functions, so forth, how things actually work. My environment was pretty easy to set up. It took a little bit of time to kind of figure out the software that I was using, which is JetBrains IDEA or IntelliJ. I'm not sure exactly what it normally goes by, but once I downloaded that and downloaded the JDK file, the JavaScript file there, the Java development kit file, it recognized it right away, and I was able to work in there. I didn't use any extra libraries. It was only whatever Kotlin had. As far as the websites that I used, it was recommended to me to check out Program Is. That was pretty interesting. I found a lot of helpful things in W3 schools as well, just to play around and be able to understand things a little bit better and make mistakes and to learn. And I will come back to the future work here once I go through my program here. Okay, so here's my program. I named it EchoInk, just a play on words for the note-taking app. So let's get started. You'll notice that I have a lot of comments throughout this. I don't think I normally would comment this much, but just because I'm learning a new language and between troubleshooting and trying different things and doing research online and copying and pasting different functions and trying to see what would make or break it, it got a little confusing for me. And so just for the sake of having everything laid out, I kind of give myself a little roadmap here to have these comments to just center myself in what I was doing and where I was looking at. That actually really helped a lot. Like I said, it's a little more than what I would normally do or would prefer, but it helped a lot on this one while I was learning this. Okay, so we start off this program with our data class. That has a couple of the different variables there. That's got the val and the var. The val variable wasn't able to change, and the var variable you could. And because of that, then I think that's what is called the mutable, I think I'm saying that right, variable, which allowed it that the content itself of the note, we could go back and change in it. And then the title and the category would stay the same. And this whole data class was just to store the data of whatever those notes were. In this next one, you'll see this class. This is basically my whole program. I mean, if you close this up here, it's lines 17 to 102. It's basically my whole program of adding notes, rating the notes, deleting the notes, editing the notes, so forth. This is really the bread and butter of my program here. I won't bore you with all the ins and outs of everything, but basically I wanted to make sure that it had basic functions of adding the notes, viewing, editing, and deleting. And then, of course, printing and confirming. This deleting one, just wanted to make sure. A couple times I would test the delete function and it would delete a little too fast. And so I did some research on how to have a secondary thing asking if you actually wanted to delete it, and that helped me at least. So that worked great. This is kind of the things that just get printed back to the user and prompts them for data, prompts them for their notes. This is pretty simple. These are kind of all the options that you have that get printed out in the menu. And then here's all the replies of what happens afterwards. So let's get this going. Let me show you what happens when we run it. Okay. Welcome to the Kotlin note-taking app menu options. We can try some of the other ones right now. Like, for example, if I do view notes, there's nothing there. And it will tell you that. So let's do an add a note. Note title, I'll just make it my name. Note content, Raiden is the best. And we'll save that. For category, I added that just because sometimes I like my notes in folders. Some people may, some people not. That was just kind of the idea behind the category, was that it allowed somebody to further separate their notes. If you don't pick a category, like for example, if I don't type in school or work or fun or something, I can just press enter and it will just pop it into the general category. And now we can test it. So now we can view them. Your notes, title, Raiden's the best, and I put it into general. And it says here's your notes. So here, let's add another one. Enter the note title. Let's do Kotlin. Enter note. Kotlin is super fun. Category, let's do work. Okay, and that was saved. As we can see, we'll press number 2 and view it. We'll come back up here. We have our two. We have the titled Raiden and the titled Kotlin. And let's edit one. And we will pick number 1, which is Raiden. And now we'll say, instead of Raiden is the best, let's say Raiden is the coolest. How about that? And it updated. Let's double check that it updated right. And here it is, Raiden is the coolest, still in general, because we can't change that once you add it. Kotlin, that's still there. That's all working. Okay, let's try to delete one. Let's delete number 2. Let's delete Kotlin. Are you sure you want to delete Kotlin? Yes. Let's delete it. Deleted successfully. Let's double check now and view, and it only has Raiden. So, and there we go. So now I can exit. Exiting Note app. Data secured. I'll be in the void. So that is my program. That is what it can do, and make some notes. I said I was gonna come back here and show you what I would change in the future. I think it'd be interesting to add storage that actually stays, something that you could reference later and see those notes rather than just every time you have to run it and then it obviously goes away. If that was the case, I think the search feature would also be interesting if you could keep the notes as well. I think you could handle more errors. I did minimal error handling as far as making sure that when it asks for a number that you only put in a number. I didn't add anything that you could put in a string to look for like the name or anything else like that. And then the last thing for the output, just to make it easier so everything was spaced out or maybe bolded or I don't know, something like that. But anyways, that is my program, and I really enjoyed making it, and it helped me a lot to understand some of these different concepts and different functions or variables, or when to use the when phrase and things like that. So yeah, that was awesome. Thank you.